Today's video is sponsored by Fantic. So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. It is a beautiful morning. We got a little dusting of snow last night, not much at all, but we're gonna warm things up, get the fire going in the building, and get this day started. So first thing on the agenda today, I wanted to bring the dump trailer up here to the building. I need to do a little maintenance on it and get it plugged in and charged up because we're going to be using it quite a bit the next couple days. Later today, I'm going to haul some stone down to my mom's place. And then tomorrow and the next day, I'm going to be helping a tree service company over at the neighbor's place. They're going to take a few more trees down, I think, and we're going to try to retrieve some of the real big ones that are way down in the bottom of the valley. So I'll probably use the skidding winch and the excavator both, and if the weather permits, it's not too muddy, we'll use the dump trailer to haul a bunch of logs from over there down to the wood yard. Just gonna put this on charge for probably 5 or 6 hours before I need it. This has been a really good trailer. I've had this now for, I don't even know, is it 3 years? I'm not even sure. I'll have to go back and look at some old videos and figure out when I got it. I remember talking to Melissa's grandfather when he was alive. He was a farmer, and he could tell you, I bought that tractor there in 1964. I built that building there in 72. I can't remember what I did last year, so thankfully for YouTube, I can go back and kind of remember all that stuff. Next up, Hunter and I are going to make a sheets run. We are literally shoulder to shoulder in this rig. We're driving the Blue Roo. All right, Hunter and I just got back from Sheets a little bit ago. We're going to head down to the Sawmill. But it is, it's supposed to warm up today. It's not there yet, though. It's going to get up to about 50. We're going to fill up our jug for the Sawmill. I use 2 of these. They're 9.5 ounces each, pine saw. 2 of them. Then we'll put in a little windshield washer fluid because it's still getting below freezing at night. Like this morning, I think it was 26 or 27 degrees. 1 gallon would probably be enough, but we're going to put 2 gallons of this in. And then just some water. And then a little Dawn dishwashing fluid. The Dawn kind of keeps the pine saw all mixed up, I guess you could say. It doesn't allow the pine saw to stay in one spot. So we got 2 gallons in there. I had already put some water in there. We're going to put more in. Got most of it in there. And I squirt it on. And we're good. All right, so we just loaded the second red pine on the mill. We have about 200 to go, give or take. This is a smaller one. This is the third log up the tree. It's only about 13 inches in diameter, but we'll get some nice 4/4 siding boards out of this one. So check this out. This is the Fantic X9 Ultra tire inflator for like trucks and Jeeps. We're gonna go try it out on one of the Jeep tires. There's only 5 pounds in it. We need to pump it up to 35. And it's not just a tire inflator. It's a light. And it's a power station to charge your batteries, your phone, whatever you like. It's got a nice long air line that tucks away in the bottom here for plenty of reach. It's got a little trap door here for more accessories like a needle valve, a valve for bike tires, say you want to inflate an air mattress, all that stored neatly behind this door right there. There's 4 different memory settings for different PSI. So I just took that tire in the Jeep from 5 pounds up to 35 pounds. If this is set at 35, it automatically shuts off once you get there. It's got 3 different light settings. So this will be kept in my truck for every single trip that I take to the cabin for sure, and really anywhere else we go. I want to say something. I am very particular about what products we do sponsored videos for, and once I saw this and the versatility of it, I said to myself, I gotta have one. I do. This is going to be really, really nice for taking down to the cabin, not only in emergency situations, but also for just charging your devices. And that light, I like it a lot. There'll be a link in the description if you want more information on this. So before I fire up the mill, I want to get on with the topic of today's video. My goal, one of my goals for 2024 was to become more prepared and more self-sufficient. And here it is, the middle of March already, and I really haven't done a whole lot yet. I mean, I was able to scratch a few things off the list, like I got a big 500-gallon fuel tank for off-road diesel. I should have done that a long time ago. We have a nice big stockpile of these red pine logs. That's a good way to be prepared. I mean, I can build wood sheds and chicken coops, and you can build tons of stuff out of this red pine, and we have lots of it, so that makes me feel good. But there's a lot of other things that I need to work on and to prepare for, and I think we all have different needs when it comes to preparedness. Some of you, it may be pretty low-key, like preparing for a job loss or changing jobs, or some of you may prepare for, you know, big major storms or something very severe. But I just have a feeling that I should be better prepared, and that's something that I'm going to start working on. So not only is this my reminder, but it's your reminder as well if it's something that you want to do. I'll tell you a good book that I read. Now this is something else. And if you're going to read this book, you better be prepared to read the book. 1 second after I read that book, oh my, probably 10 years ago. It's a good one. It really is. It's about a EMP attack on the United States, and just what this little town went throughout, you know, the first year, I think it was. And my one major takeaway from that book was, what's really important are the little things that we just take for granted every day. That was something that I really took away from that book. I mean, people, I think, can get carried away with preparedness, but the little things that we take for granted is what I'm going to start focusing on, you know? And one of the things I need to do, I need to get a full backup generator. I've got 3 generators, and if we have an extended power outage, I can keep everything running. But I'd like to get a nice big generator, maybe just for the building, maybe the house as well. But the building would be easy to power, heat, and cool if need be, cook, everything we could do in the building on very minimal power. The wood stove heats the entire building. The whole building is very well insulated, and it just doesn't need a lot of power to run that building. So that's something that I want to do, a nice diesel generator. I've looked at the Generac backups. The propanes, I'm just not sold on. Everybody I've talked to, they just blow through the propane. They use a lot. Where I see a diesel engine, a diesel generator would just chug along. Like I said, I got a 500-gallon tank. We've got a buried oil tank for the house. So at any given time, I have at least probably 1,000 gallons of fuel on site. So I think a diesel generator would be the ticket for the building. And just a transfer switch. And that way, anything long-term, we would be just fine for quite a while. You know what I mean? I remember when I was a kid, well, I was probably 18 or something, 1985. Yeah, I would have been 18 years old. We had some tornadoes rip through western Pennsylvania, which is kind of a rarity for this area. And we were without power for, I think, 10 days. I think that's what it was. But I mean, it was a serious tornado. And you know, when you don't have public water, you have well water, you need that electricity to run the pump. And it was hot, and it was just, yeah, 10 straight days, no power. I'll never forget that. So that's the next goal, to get a diesel generator. I could probably even sell 1 or 2 of my gas generators, and I could take that money, put towards a nice diesel generator, and get that taken care of. Because when everything's fine, like a day like today, you don't even think about it, but something can happen pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's make some boards. So I'll tell you how I approach these red pine, and it seems to work out pretty well. I'll put the log on the mill, center it up, and then I'll take one slab off the top and then one piece of 4/4 live edge. Put the slab over there in the pile, piece of 4/4 live edge in that pile right there. Eventually those will go back on the mill and we'll cut those into stickers. And I flip the log 180 degrees and repeat that process. Something else worth a mention, this is my blade lube. You saw me fill that up earlier. Water, windshield washer fluid, pine sol with a squirt of Dawn. That works really good with hardwoods. With this pine though, it doesn't cut the sap as well as I'd like. So what I do is this. It doesn't take much at all, but when I'm done with each log, I give the blade just a squirt of some diesel fuel, run it a little bit, give it another squirt or two, and it cleans it right up. I don't have to do it very often. Like I say, once every log, it works out pretty good. And I'll tell you where I got that tip from. I hate to admit it. I got that tip from my buddy Nathan from out of the woods. I watch his channel sometimes for sawmill tips. Definitely not tips on how to run an excavator, but sawmill tips, yeah, I'll give him that. So this mill, it has a board return, but I don't use it, at least not now. A lot of people ask why not. So right there, that'll flip down, and when you make your cut, as you pull it back, you can bring your boards right here. Only reason I don't use it is I don't want the lumber to go this way, at least for now. Eventually, it would be nice to set up a couple rollers right here, and then I can use the board return and take that lumber that direction. I'm still not 100% sure this is where this mill is going to sit. It's definitely going to be under roof, and probably this roof, but I'm still trying to figure that all out. You know, some of this red pine that we're sawing, we could put a few walls up around the outside, but I also like having access. Just a lot of things to figure out and figure out the best workflow, but we'll get there. Just takes a little time. See how they cleaned that up? It's a little squirt after each log. That works really well. Really, really well. So I finished that one off there by sawing some 2x4s, real 2x4s, from back when men were men. 2" by 4". Also got a bunch more nice 4/4. They're about 9 inches wide, I think is what those are. So far what you see here is out of 2 logs. And like I said, we've got about at least 200 of them to saw. But anyway, before we wrap this up, like I said, I'm going to do my best between now and the end of this year to become better prepared and more self-sufficient. That's my goal. Let me know in the comments if you're on board, and if you are, what exactly you are preparing for. I've got a whole host of things, actually. We won't go over that right now. But I think that's about it. Appreciate y'all being here, and I will catch you on the next one.